Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi there. We're in for a very hot week. In fact, 90-degree temperatures are possible for Wednesday and again on Saturday. Then the streak ends as we have a cold front pass going into Sunday. A lot of opportunities for showers and thunderstorms reflected in your forecast, but running accumulation shouldn't be a whole lot all said and done, particularly looking towards southern West Virginia. Some areas of showers rolling through still in the evening into the overnight, then we'll clear out a bit. Redevelopment of a few showers in the morning hours that after about 1 p.m. we see a lot of that dry out and we'll stay pretty clear going into Wednesday. Your Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. If you're traveling across the country, many areas are also pretty summery this week, so pack the shorts and t-shirts. We do see some stormy conditions to plan for, say, in Chicago. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, we are looking north for that best chance of a quarter inch or more up until 7 p.m. Wednesday. Temperatures bottoming out in the low to mid 60s tonight, very mild, and then about 81 to 84 is the spread of temperatures here. Looking east into the mountains where we're only picking up a couple hundredths of an inch of precipitation in the next couple days, bottoming out into some upper 50s, and then the warmest spots in this part of West Virginia will be around 88, upper 80s on Tuesday. Expanding out a bit, other areas that could see a quarter inch or more, Spencer, Glenville, Weston, those spots will be around 60 degrees tonight. Elkins 56, and will be ranging from upper 70s to mid 80s over this swath of the state. Then pushing south where the very southern edges of West Virginia will see little to no actual accumulation in the short term here, ranging from low 50s to low 60s, and then low 80s to more upper 80s out there. Breaking down Charleston's 7-day forecast will continue to be very active this week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, final hour for this Tuesday. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour, 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number you can text, 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It is a Tuesday afternoon. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Breaking news we talked about with Bernard Dunn last hour about the latest from Iran. Iran wants to work out a deal. That's what the president is saying at this time. No comment from Iran on that, but that's what the president is saying at this time. More on that coming up a little bit later on. Also, open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Look who's here. It's Hurricane Rob Cornelius. How you doing, man?
I don't like the hurricane thing.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I need a better nickname.
Okay.
My last name's too long. It's a terrible radio name.
Okay. So
I don't know. I'm never comfortable
The
with that stuff.
hurricane doesn't, I mean, it describes you. Because you kind of just blow in here and do all kinds of destruction
indiscriminate
and leave.
nonsense. Right.
But
I throw everything everywhere.
You're right. It's really not a good nickname. We need to,
I'm not high energy enough.
No,
high T, maybe not high energy
I would
enough.
hate to see if you were
really super amped.
Yeah. So we'll have to work on that. I'll go back to my old school wrestling and boxing days. Come back with maybe James Bone Crusher Smith.
That was strong. Well, he was one of the tomato cans Tyson had to beat up on the way to consolidate the titles.
Clubber Lang,
Clubber
which
Lang,
was Mr.
Rocky,
T's character in Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved his work at WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
A little bit. No,
I don't
really.
I don't recognize
I know
anything.
you don't recognize the mid-'80s fluff.
No,
of
I don't
genre.
recognize anything that is labeled sports entertainment.
Right. WWE, as it were.
Zero of it. All right, so the serious stuff I want to get to with you, Rob.
Yeah.
I always like to repost what Mr. Weekly post on X, his question of the day and his in or out, and I just did that a couple moments ago. And so I'm not going to take away from what he is going to talk about, but I want to ask you your opinion of what this question. He's talking about comedian Bert Kreischer, who's coming to concert Sunday night in Huntington. Very, very funny guy. He asked, who's the GOAT of stand-up of all time? Pryor, Carlin, Eddie Murphy, or someone else? I'm not trying to steal from him. I just wanted to.
Given those selections, I'll go Murphy, but I mean, I like Kinnison, but I mean, if we're allowed to go off list, I go Kinnison, I go Dennis Miller.
Oh.
I like both of those. That's in my age, my era, yours as well, I think.
I think they're all different comedians of different. I mean, it's almost like comparing athletes, in barroom discussions. People want to, say, well, Jim Brown was a better running back than Barry Sanders or whatever. You really can't compare the eras and the styles.
And people do things differently. The wife loves Farley. I consider him too much of a physical comedian.
Yeah.
Too much of it. And Kreischer, I like Kreischer. He does some of that. The whole getting topless, pretty much the whole show is kind of part of his gag. I don't think you need that. I want more cerebral.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Sam Kinison. This should say something, and you can relate to somebody who's a total screw up who married to somebody wonderful.
That's kind of the way this works.
Much like me.
I need an adult.
Much like me. One of my wife's my wife and I's first dates was to a Sam Kinison concert.
That's actually perfect.
It was the first 2 or 3 dates we had. We were at the Sam Kinison came to the Municipal Auditorium in Charleston. One of the first 2, 3, 4 dates we had, we went to see Sam Kinison.
Well, in the same year too, he was hot. Dice was just in Marietta like 6 months ago.
Oh, really?
I was in Vegas. I missed it, but like literally, I don't know what he did crowd wise, but Dice is out there doing it. He's back to working blue.
That's okay.
It's pretty strong.
All right. That's all good. And I am a big fan of George Carlin's work, but I mean, to me, Carlin is just a different level of comedian. It's not fair to compare a George Carlin with a classic stand-up comedian, fill in name here, because they're just different.
Well, he was just so good, such a contrast in his era.
Styles.
There was such a big jump from like the average comedy of that era to what he was doing on a whole other level.
Yeah. All right. So tune in next time for more comedy reviews with Cornelius and Alan.
I have a whole like six cassette set of Red Fox stuff that you need to borrow at some point. It's amazing.
Red Fox was criminally underrated.
Absolutely.
And I love Sanford and Son, greatest television show of all time. Okay. But if you think that's all Red Fox was, then you're sadly mistaken, because there's a whole lot more to Red Fox. And the fact that if you know a lot about Sanford and Son is the fact that a great number of those people on that show were not actors. They were his buddies. Skillet, Leroy, and Bubba.
Yeah,
not the greatest actors in the world. They were all his buddies.
I would just cast my pals or whatever. I can have a Barstool type approach. Just have people who are like in your circle and already talk to you, and that'll take care of itself.
All right. And he also really went to the plate for Ann Astor LaWanda Page.
Yes.
Because they wanted to make her a minor character, and he basically threatened to walk one time because they were going to start to phase her out. And she had given him a break years ago. She was very okay. We could go on about this.
A lot of good stories
forever.
about Red Fox bringing folks along. His old house is in Vegas. I need to put on my celebrity tour next time I'm out there. Didn't do it last week.
And his real name is John Sanford, and that is where Sanford and Son came from. There you go.
Loop it around.
The things you know. All right, so let's get back to Jim Justice. All right, so the latest with the Justice Chronicles on the Greenbrier and the Omni folks. I know you follow this stuff closely. What do you make of all this?
Greenbrier's gone. It's going to be Omni's soon, as soon as they plant the flag. I think you have to look at this and understand who Jim Justice is, and he's never been a billionaire. That never happened. And
Why do you say that?
He's never been $1 billion liquid or even close.
Okay.
Even after the Russians paid him for his mines, bought them the Meckel deal, and they bought his mines in 2009, 2010, he never has been a billionaire. And the most telling thing is, even if you subtract the hotel, say the hotel goes away, it's not his, Omni, we're not talking about that anymore. He's a guy who still has corporately and personally debts in excess of $1 billion. And I think technically that makes him the poorest person in West Virginia, which is kind of ironic.
You said that off the air. You said he's the poorest man in West Virginia. And as we would say down home, I wanted to say, how you figure?
Because he can't pay his bills. He can't pay his water bill. He can't pay the interest on these loans. He can't pay anybody timely, and he can't pay them in full, and he never has. But yet, because of who he is, and to the latter extent, the last decade, his position, he's been given a lot more chances than you or I would if we got, say, 3 months behind on Nissan Altima.
Yeah. Okay. Good way to put it. All right. So with this deal with Omni, this guy is apparently, I did a little deep dive on reading about him over the weekend. I mean, this guy's the real deal when it comes to taking these places over and making something of it. And look, we all love the Greenbrier. It's West Virginia's treasure and so on and so forth. I said this in relation to a text with all due respect, and I'm not trying to say like I go to the Greenbrier 4 or 5 times a year. I have been to the Greenbrier several times. I'm not a regular down there, but I will say this, the last time I was there, and I don't think you necessarily look at Jim Justice on this. Last time I was there, the experience was less than stellar. I'll say that, from the service to the food to the cleanliness, less than stellar. Now, do you look at Jim Justice? No, not necessarily. Maybe they just didn't have the workforce or whatever, but it left a lot to be desired.
Well, deferred maintenance is the order of the day, but I think Omni will be great for the Greenbrier. I think Omni's a real operator. They operate 50, 60 big resorts, big hotels.
The
around
Homestead,
country.
which is not far from there.
Yeah, and that's a very similar resort. I figured the Homestead made the most sense synergy-wise with whoever took this property over eventually. But stayed in Omni hotels. A nice new one in Louisville. It's beautiful. Nice new one in Nashville. Stayed a couple years ago. These are beautiful. And the thing about Omni is they're not a publicly traded company. This is individual personal wealth of Rowling and these guys. And you look at it, if you are Marriott, you have to go to the stock market and every quarter report your earnings, your losses. You're worried about, if I sink $200 million in the Greenbrier this quarter, it's going to cost me this, lost that. Omni's a private company. They don't have to answer that stuff. So they can take on these big projects. They'll take a while to fix, a while to improve, put a 9-figure amount of dollars into that property and make it great again. And I think that's the best possible scenario here for everyone involved. The workers, the employees, the unions there, the people in Greenbrier and surrounding counties who need and expect and want these jobs. You can get that place and you can grow it. And I think Omni is a great operator in the hotel side. And I respect that completely. And I hope this happens sooner than later.
Talking to Rob Cornelius. All right. So Governor Patrick Morrisey and First Lady Denise Morrisey, Rob, have gone on record as supporting certain candidates. I have been one that has said, look, this has gone on for a long time. 40 years ago, somebody was picking up the phone and sitting in the governor's mansion saying, or getting somebody at a cocktail party or getting somebody at a fundraiser and go, look, we really need to get, John Smith out of Mon County elected to the House of Delegates. We really need to do that. But it wasn't as out there in your face because we didn't have social media at the time like we do now. What do you make of Governor Patrick Morrisey endorsing candidates in the primary, he and his wife both, choosing certain ones and saying we need, and I'm very much paraphrasing here, Rob, saying we need to get rid of these rhinos, and the governor and the first lady, the governor specifically, saying that he is the one that's going to make this decision and what's a rhino and what's not and so on and so forth.
We all have opinions, and I think people come to you and me off air, be it at events, be it at church, wherever, and say, hey, who are you voting for? Who do you think? What do you think? I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. The fact that they have a bigger microphone, you guys give them all the airtime they want if they want it to talk about these things. We all have opinions. So I don't think there's any reason to hide them. And I think if you look at the governor, or frankly, anyone else, Governor Senator Shelley Capito, anybody, you get a good sense from to whom they donate, to whom they appear with,
it's not hard to figure
who they
out.
support. No. So I don't see an issue with that. Frankly, I prefer it. I'd rather not have people lie to my face or act like they're neutral, fake neutral. When I was county chair of the Republican Party in Wood County, we would have to host events, and I would have to host events as generically as possible and introduce these people and not have my opinion introduced into it. Frankly, that's pretty uncomfortable. I feel like I feel like I'm not giving you your full information. I'm an open book, as you know, from this show and my life. I'm going to tell you I think Steve's a much better candidate than Dan. Whatever, and being in that position where you have to kind of fake neutrality. No, I would honestly rather people tell me their face. I would much rather have,
even if it's a sitting governor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look, he doesn't lose his free speech, doesn't lose his 1A.
I agree. I agree with that.
All day, like after 5 o'clock, say whatever you want.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it's not like this hasn't been done in the past. It's just not been. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have X at that time.
But I don't think it necessarily moves the needle that much. And I'm not to say that he's not influential or Shelley's not influential. I don't think the voters are that tuned in to know granularily 6 offices down the ballot if Senator Capito endorsed my House Delegates person or not, or Patrick Morrisey's for Ann Charnock, or any of these things, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't think it moves the needle that much. I think candidates are fighting around for it, and it's great. We'll see it on Facebook one day, but I don't think it's going to turn into TV ads for 30 candidates where someone's standing in there with them, And right now, I'm not sure I'd want the Jim Justice endorsement.
So what happens though if and I'll give you a example. This has been talked about. Let's say that the governor, whomever it is, really pushes this candidate. We have to get rid of Rob Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Cornelius is a rhino. He's serving out of whatever county. He's a rhino. We want to replace him with Dave Allen. Okay, we got to replace him. All right, Dave Allen loses. Okay, and then the governor has to work with Rob Cornelius at that point.
Yeah,
in the legislature. Now, I have said before, in the old days of politics, there in the area where I'm from, there was given it kind of changed per election, but primarily there was always two factions. The election was over in the primary. There was no general. There were no Republicans in southern West Virginia. It was all Democrats. They beat the hell out of each other.
Yep.
Up until election day, or election night, and then the results come in the next day. They all met at the smokehouse in downtown Logan with legal pads. They shook hands, they drank coffee, they smoked cigarettes, and they said, okay, well, why did you do this? Oh, okay, well, that's why. Okay, well, you took this precinct. How'd you do that? And then they went on, and the next election, those two may be together in the next against this guy. I don't think that's where we are right now, though.
It isn't, but I think when you line up the legislature and have the new session 7 or 8 months after this primary, because the general, again, is mostly fait accompli. It doesn't really matter this coming year. It's been Republicans, the 90% of places that are Republicans right now in the legislature. I just don't. If the governor comes to the legislature next spring with an agenda that is reasonable conservative stuff, people who are just not going to go with him because just to be contrary, that's not going to work. These things are still going to pass. So you're going to be on the wrong end of, say, cutting taxes or an economic development bill or something he wants. Logically, his positions are probably going to be ones you want to follow, especially if the rest majority is. Do you really want to be on that island? What's the point of that? You'll figure it out. You guys have 7 or 8 months to figure it out, and you'll have the opportunity to vote for things that are great and things that are terrible and see where it goes. But I don't have an issue with that. You know, in a body of 100 House delegates, 1 or 2 guys who are contrary, we already have a bunch of guys who are contrary.
That's true. That's true.
Just, and it's a lot of look at me caucus, and that's on both sides. But it is very much attention seeking. Senate, 1 member can mean a little bit more to the thing with only having 34. But I don't think it really makes a difference. I mean, there are guys in the House don't have committee assignments. They're just basically in exile. And I think you just have more of that because if you can't cooperate with the governor or leadership or both, you're going to have nothing to do. You're going to have a lot of video games playing on your phone.
You don't think that it's divisive?
Everything's divisive.
Well, I know. I get that, Rob. I get that. But I mean, you don't think
contrast is how you win.
I understand, and and you don't want a bunch of yes men or yes women. I completely understand that. You want to have debate, you want to have discussion, but I mean, it just seems. And look, this is not a Republican thing.
No.
The Democrats went through this, for years. You had these basic divisions within the Democratic Party. And it wasn't as I don't know that it read on paper exactly like it does now, because then it was more you didn't have a whole lot of social issue Democrats back then. I mean, primarily it was labor or union.
Right.
I'm sorry, labor, big business or labor.
Well, what you had business Democrats, which are all now Republicans, and you had labor and what I call the true left, the flat part of Charleston left, and they're kind of on their own island, and that has shrunk. But no matter which one it was, whether it was, Democrats who went to church or Democrats who didn't, the Republicans beat the tar out of them on social issues and being against Obama. And that applied to all of them. And that's how that 83 years came apart at the end. Single-member districts made it easier. And then everyone on that side could be blamed for all the dumb lefty national things, whether they were a dim who went to church and appeared to be normal or some, lunatic lefty person who was for Iran in this war.
So I had on the local show in Charleston, we interviewed State Treasurer Larry Pack this morning.
Sure.
And he spent a lot of time, with all due respect to Larry, he spent a lot of time talking about things with the Treasurer's office, but he also spent a lot of time, I don't want to say bashing Patrick Morrissey. That's not the correct term. But he did spend some time talking about some issues that he had with the current administration. Okay. I asked him point blank, I said, it's been up in the air a long time. People have wondered, are you going to run for governor in 2028? Now, I think you and I both know it all depends on what Jim Justice decides to do, to be honest with you. I think what Mr. Pack said was something to the effect of, 5 years ago, I was in the healthcare field, and then I somehow fell into this, and I was, chief of staff and then in the legislature, whatever now.
Lord willing.
Now I'm state treasurer and whatever. So he said, I don't know what the Lord holds for me. I give him big props for that. So what do you think about Larry Pack?
I think he's really smart. I think he can pay for a good campaign. I think he's really risk averse and would not run against an incumbent.
Okay. Does Jim Justice come back and run?
No.
Okay. I don't think so either. There was a time I thought that, but now, especially there, they're going, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think that.
Well, too old. And the other thing now, he's too old. I can't get charged of age discrimination. I'm not hiring. I'm just a voter, but he's going to be too old.
All right. This whole thing with Trump and the
Are you still wasting your time
I know.
on that?
I'm asking you. I want your opinion.
I saw the best thing yesterday. I think it was Trump laying hands on Eric Swalwell to make him a better person. These memes have been amazing. Just enjoy the memes, man.
Well, but I mean, some people don't enjoy them because they find it to be blasphemous.
Stop. No one's taking that seriously. You guys, look for reasons to be offended and annoyed.
Not me. I'm not offended.
You guys all doing that. I want more talk actually about Trump and the Pope talking.
Yeah.
And I want more talk about the Pope's fashion choices, the little cereal bowl hat versus the post hole digger. Take your pick, man.
He's a White Sox fan, is the Pope, and
yeah,
so
I know. So is your
married,
wife. I know.
I'm married into the White Sox. So.
Noah Schultz tonight, right? The new lefty, big guy.
All right, well, I'll tell you what's going to happen.
He's going to whip it.
I don't know that if he wants to pick a fight with the guy from Chicago. I'll be honest with you. Even if it is a Pope.
Soft touch. Last two Popes have been soft.
What did you think about my idea yesterday? Vatican death match between the Pope and between Trump. Pope had on the pole, first one to get it.
Oh, I love it, but that seems sacrilegious as well. I'm so offended. My stars and garters.
Nothing offends you. Rob Cornelius, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't like the nickname Hurricane, so the next time I'll get him on, I'll come up with something else.
Send some in, maybe something alliterative. See what we can do.
A good nickname for Rob Cornelius. Text me 304-TALK-304. We'll take a break. Come back after this. Thanks, man.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Calva Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Calva Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing, that they didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Calva GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Calva GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Welcome back to the show, 228. Remember when you had a party like in high school, or maybe when you went to a friend's house for the party when the parents were out of town in high school, and everybody has a good time, and then you wake up the next morning and there's beer cans everywhere, or there's, for some reason there's spray painting on the wall. The dog is wearing a dress, pictures hanging off the wall, you wonder what in the heck happened last night. That's the way I feel every time Rob Cornelius leaves this control room, because it's kind of like once he leaves and we go to commercial break, I'm always like, what just happened here? I mean, what was in the punch? I mean, whose idea was it to invite that guy? And the answer is it was my idea to invite that guy. That's what you call the after Rob effect. He does want a new nickname, though, so if you can help me out, text 304-TALK-304. He doesn't like Hurricane Rob, so have him on about once a month or so. You got a good nickname for him. Help me out, 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday. We got Open Line West Virginia coming up. Stay with us. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Meteorologist Daniel Kaiser here with your Metro News TV forecast here on this Friday, brought to you by Half Off Fridays. Save big from local businesses across the state. Click the Half Off Fridays button at wvmetronews.com. As we take a look at your headlines, we are watching a cold front moving on in later today, bringing the chance of a few showers along with it, especially across northern West Virginia. We'll see quiet weather this weekend before rain chances start to return next week. We could even see a few record highs across the region by next Tuesday and Wednesday. But putting your forecast in motion, we do see that cold front moving on in, bringing that shower potential as we head towards the evening hours, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. The heaviest rain is going to be across portions of northern West Virginia, where we could see a few totals in spots of around 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain. Now in your Fly CRW forecast, Fly CRW, it starts at home. We are watching the chance for a few rain showers in Chicago and Orlando today, but areas like Tampa, Charlotte, DC, and Atlanta will see nice weather, not only today, but into the weekend, nice and dry weather. As we take you panhandle to panhandle, again, portions of northern West Virginia, including Wheeling, could see up to 1/3 of an inch of rain as that cold front moves on through later today. Highs will top off in the 70s, maybe touching 80 in some locations. Rainfall totals will fall off the further east you go, with highs once again in the 70s to low 80s. Sunshine during the afternoon hours before that rain moves on in this evening. And rainfall totals will also taper the further south you go as we go throughout the evening hours, with highs once again 70s touching 80 in spots, and across southern West Virginia just under 1/10 of an inch of rain expected in Charleston, with a high of 80 later today. Now we do see quiet weather this weekend, warmer on Sunday, 86, before more rain chances return next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a yeah.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. If you're a parent or grandparent worried about how you're going to pay for college, we got you hooked up. Metro News proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior is going to get a full ride to Wesleyan. Room, board, tuition, and fees. Full details available at wvmetronews.com. Simply click on that Apply Now button. Deadline, though, is May 3rd. 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today. Deadline is May 3rd. By the way, do want to mention, and I want to wish a very happy birthday to the newest member of the Metro News team, Jack Carlson, who's celebrating a birthday today. So a happy birthday, Jack. It is the tradition. He works out of our offices here at 1111. And I don't know whether they told you this, Jack, in the handbook or not, but it is the tradition that when you're a new employee and you're celebrating a birthday with us, that it is the tradition. You can look it up. The employee that is new is to buy cake and ice cream for all the other employees in the building. That's in the employee handbook. You can look it up. It's page 29, third paragraph down. If Ryan's finished writing it yet, then it's ready to go. So, Jack, happy birthday. Text says, Trump derangement syndrome versus Trump worship syndrome. Which is worse? On your interview with Dave Weekley that I did, we talked about a little bit of history with Mr. Weekley early today. And it says, I am currently reading the book, The American Revolution, and I thought it was interesting that George Washington, during the war, wanted to annex Canada as the 14th colony. Yeah, I did not know that, so we'll have to do a little research on that. You know, maybe we would have some descendant of, I don't know, Michael J. Fox that could be like the Secretary of War or something now. Let me see. Text says, anyone who voted for Trump in any election deserves the same harsh judgment as the moron in chief. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, about the pick, so what? Doesn't change my faith or beliefs. I'm stronger than that. I'm stronger that, or you ask yourself, says the texter. Text says, do you really believe the leader of the free world does his own social media? Well, when he admits that he shares it, I'm going to say yeah, because he admitted it. I mean, he admitted it. 1-800-765-TALK, the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says 100% Larry Pack is running for governor if Jim Justice doesn't. Write it down, says the texter. Text says Dave, Sistersville Ferry needs to get buckets of Flex Seal, LOL, to fill the holes. Text says it's sad that it took mocking God for Christians to jump off the Trump train. I don't know. I mean, TJ and I kind of disagree on this. Maybe we just have different friends, different social media feeds, different algorithms, whatever. But I don't know that many people did. I mean, we had a few people text the show, had a couple people here and there on my feed that said I've gone too far, or I'm sorry, Trump has gone too far. I'm off the train. I haven't seen a lot of that. Text says only those who are not Christians are angry with the Trump meme. We Christians are used to people mocking us in Christ. Christ said it would happen. The left and the unreligious are just milking the meme. That doesn't mean Trump should have done it. Still wrong. But he has all the right. Still not sure if he thought of it as being Christ. He once said 2 Corinthians instead of 2 Corinthians. Let's agree that he's not a Christian, but he is the president and has a freedom of speech, as does everyone else. And that is 100% correct. He does have the freedom of speech. And he or whomever also has to live with the consequences thereof. Text says no prayer in school, no Christian clubs in school, students not allowed to wear a crucifix, no nativity scenes, no prayers during sports, 10 commandments removed. Catholic Church declared a terrorist organization, but one stupid pick is the problem. Well, prayer is still in school. It was never taken out. most schools that I know have Christian clubs. Don't know about the crucifix. Don't know about the nativity scenes. I still see prayer during sporting events. Don't know about the 10 Commandments being removed. I know that there was a move on to get them placed in the classroom, so maybe they were removed and are going back. I don't know. Catholic Church declared a terrorist organization. All churches at one point have been called by somebody a terrorist organization. But okay, I appreciate your text. Text says, absolutely nothing will come of the latest Jim Justice Greenbrier story. He'll get off scot-free like he always does. Text says, green energy products have always been a scam. They get millions of dollars a year, and a year or two later, they're out of business. It happens way too often. Obama started giving all kinds of money to companies who failed almost immediately. Time for an investigation, says a texter. All right. Got a lot of text to get to today. You're very active, and I like that. Text says the Putnam County Town Council had their meeting today about the Google data center. The residents were informed that the humming from the data centers is nothing to worry about, that it's actually rainbow trout being grown to get released with the pure glacial spring water created by cooling data servers. Chalk up another win for the Putnam County Town Council. I don't know what a Putnam County Town Council is. There's no such thing. Text says Republicans are all about voter suppression. Okay, cannot agree with that. Text says, it is hilarious that openly admitting sexual assault, mocking disabled people, being found guilty by a jury of peers for 34 felonies, having extremely close proximity to child predators, being an adulterer, marrying a prostitute, and a lot of other behaviors that don't align with Christian teachings weren't enough for Christians to walk away from Trump. But this goofy AI picture is where the line is drawn. What are Christian values, says the texter. Text says, I personally did not like what the president shared, but it wasn't enough to make me get off the MAGA train. So sorry, libs. If, says the texter, you give conservatives the choice to carry water for a Republican or for a Democrat, they'll choose the Republican every time. Trump has nothing to worry about from Christians. They're in their performative outrage feelings right now. As soon as Trump needs them to toe the line, they will race to be first, says the texter. Text, the only thing that Jim Justice has going for him is Baby Dog and the Greenbrier. And now that the Greenbrier's gone, is Baby Dog next? Well, Greenbrier's not gone yet. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Reminder, tomorrow is Wednesday, which means we introduce you to another wonderful West Virginian doing great things in his or her community. Got somebody that's doing great things for veterans, for the recovery community, for youth sports, whatever the case may be. We want to hear about it. Drop us an email, midday@wvmetronews.com. It's midday@wvmetronews.com, or reach out to me on social media, Dave Allen Radio on Facebook, or @DaveA70 on X. During the 1 o'clock hour every Wednesday, we award somebody the wonderful West Virginian Award. Midday@wvmetronews.com, or reach out to either Amanda or myself. Social media, for me, it's Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or @DaveA70 on X. More Open Line West Virginia coming up. Stay with us.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZLM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZLM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ, or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. I told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Welcome back to the show. 14 away from 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open line, West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says Google took their data center tour to the Boone County Village Council meeting. Now you're just getting silly. And fair, and told the downsides of data center: noise, water pollution, air pollution, not a big tax contributor to the county. Boone County residents said they don't care about clean air or water or tax contribution, but they're a coal community. The residents asked why they didn't mention the pollution sooner, because they thought Google was a bunch of loving leftists, not a polluting red-blooded American business, says a texter. Text says, I can't argue with the new moniker for Rob. I remember when you used a Black Sabbath song, completely inappropriate for Rob, but Hurricane Rob, completely fitting considering how hard Rob blows, says the texter. Actually, the Black Sabbath song, at one point, I used, when I used to have Greg Thomas on the local show in Charleston, I used to use Iron Man, also known as the Road Warriors theme, for Greg Thomas on the local show in Charleston. So maybe we should look into walk-up music for a different guest. We'll look into that. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text said it would be a great day for the DOH to clean up some roads. Just saying, according to a texter. Text, look at the water company. They keep expanding the size of their company, and the governor and the PSC lets them raise our cost, says a texter. Text says, Rob Cornelius is a clown, total clown, not a good guest, clown. You don't even disclose to your listeners that Rob literally works for the Morrissey campaign. Come on, dude, the guy's a clown, says a texter. I don't know that he is affiliated with some PACs, Mr. Cornelius says, I do believe, but as far as working for the direct campaign, I don't think so. Text just says Jackass. Okay, Rob, that is your new name, according to a texter. Jackass. That's probably sent from your wife. Just saying, if she's anything like my wife. Texas just checked out on YouTube and watched West Virginia turning on Trump over the cost of utilities, the highest in the country, and the overall cost of living. They were calling Trump out not good. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Is it election day yet, says a texter? I am already tired of the radio ads and seeing the political signs, says a texter. Well, those of us in the radio business never get tired of the ads because that's what pays our paychecks. Texas can't believe these godless Republicans not standing for Jesus Christ but worshiping man and praying to a golden statue, says a texter. Text says, hey, Dave, I bet Mike Pushkin has a couple names for Rob Cornelius. Maybe he could share them on the air for all of us next time he visits. Well, he's more than welcome to. Text said, ready to write the check for Larry Pack. Says a texter. Let Mr. Pack know that. Wow. A lot of text. Trying to catch up. Text, it is pronounced Iran, not Iran. Trump has never identified a reason for his war. Text says, I just looked up rules of engagement for a naval blockade. It must be declared, must be applied impartially. That means all the nations must be treated the same. Guess what? Trump's blockade is illegal. After all, your so-called conservative Supreme Court declared that President Trump is above the law. Trump is reacting accordingly. Text, you hit the nail on the head. Governors and others have campaigned for their favorites in the primaries for years. At least the Morrisseys are being honest about it. Text says, after Morrissey gets rid of the rhinos, let's get rid of the carpetbagger, says the texter. Nickname for Cornelius, says the texter. How about atheist Trump worshiper, says the texter. I don't know that he's an atheist. Text said, I don't know about now. I graduated from East Bank High School in 1970. We had a Bible club. Tom Worley was the club president, says a texter. I don't care about the Jesus meme, but it's fun watching Christian Trump supporters tie themselves up in knots trying to defend it. Text MAGA is hilarious. If any Democrat was doing what Trump is doing, they would ask for his resignation or impeachment. Rob C., charmer that you are, it's not a good idea to normalize the false idolatry and mock the true believers. Christian nationalism is not God creating a man in his own image. It's man creating God to suit his own desires. Condemnation is never too cute, says a texter. Text says, God will not be made fun of, Donnie. I will no longer vote for any Republican until he is removed from office. Text, so Republicans have no issue with what Trump posted, but they want to criticize President Obama for wearing a tan suit. We see you, says a texter. Text says, can we please get someone to fix the crappy roads in Putnam County between Poca and Eleanor? Thank you very much. As mayor of Tays Valley, I would address that, but that's not my part of the county. Text says, Larry Pack will be our next governor, period. With that, it's 2:52, 8 away from 3. We'll wrap it up after this.
Looking to advance your career without putting life on hold? Earn your MBA from Glenville State University in as little as 18 months. Choose from in-demand concentrations like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and healthcare administration. Whether you're leading teams, analyzing data, or protecting digital systems, our programs are designed for working professionals who want flexibility and results. Take the next step with an MBA from Glenville State University. Learn more and apply today at glenville.edu.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
There's often an assumption that my nasal congestion, my sneezing, my runny nose, these are just things that I have to live with. A lot of times patients will tell me, I've tried every allergy medication, every nasal spray, I've done it all, doc. And then I'll frequently say, what about this? You need to come to the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center. If those things haven't worked, there are new options, new treatments. There's probably something we can do to help. You don't just have to live with those symptoms.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! Council.
Welcome back to the show. 4 minutes away from 3 o'clock. That clearing of the throat is from one David Weekley.
What, is this on?
It is on.
Just
now.
1, 2.
You got this big button over there that says on. That's what
I should have noticed that.
It's all good. How you doing, man?
I am good. I enjoyed being on your show earlier today.
You have a did you hear? You probably didn't because you don't listen to me. The text that I got. I don't know if I can find it quickly or not, but.
If it was about me, I'm sure it was glowing.
The text said, I'm currently reading the book, The American Revolution, and I thought it was interesting that George Washington, during the war, wanted to annex Canada as the 14th colony.
Nice.
That's what I said. And who knows, the Secretary of War could be a descendant of Michael J. Fox.
That's possible as well.
Robert Cornelius and I talked about this a little bit earlier, your question of the day about comedians. I think, you and I were talking off air. It's kind of like when you have that argument over athletes of different generations. Is it, Jim Brown was the greatest? No, Barry Sanders was. No, whatever. I don't know, but especially when it comes to comedy, how do you compare, let's say, Bob Hope with the late Sam Kinison? I mean, they're just they're just totally different styles. I don't know how you compare those two.
Well, one thing about Hope did a lot of topical stuff. Yeah. They all do, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But what if you compared somebody like Jerry Seinfeld, who would probably be successful in almost any era, against somebody like Jack Benny?
Yeah.
Jack Benny had his comedy is kind of timeless.
Well, but the guys like Benny and Hope and all these guys, they had a ton of writers too. I'm not saying they didn't come up with stuff on their own. They said that I watched a biography of Joan Rivers one time, and they said that she kept index cards, and she had a room in her home that looked like the old Dewey Decimal Library system because she categorized them T for traffic, B for babies,
George Carlin was the same way.
And just wrote, constantly. I did mention one of mine and Ruth Ann's, my wife's first dates was a Sam Kinison concert, which should tell you something about, but here we are still 34 years later. But
I remember that was a happening, man.
1989 at the Municipal Auditorium in Charleston. I love stand-up comedy. Doesn't matter whether it's the most famous person in the world or somebody that I'm flipping through the channels or on YouTube, and I just see. I love stand-up comedy, as long as it's not. There's two people. Jim Carrey's the least funniest human that ever lived. The second least
You're
funny.
making friends all over the place.
The second least funny person ever lived, Will Ferrell. Cannot stand either one. Ryan just turned in his resignation, looking at me through the glass. Cannot stand either one of them.
Coop doesn't like Will Ferrell either.
I can't stand Will Ferrell. Just not a fan at all. I wasn't a fan of the stand-up of Robin Williams. I'll say I appreciated the genius of him, but he was just a little too manic for me. I'll say that. All right, what else you got on the show today?
Man, I don't know. This Will Ferrell thing, man, that came out of left field. You don't like the movie Anchorman?
I never saw it because I can't stand Will Ferrell. So
The Legend of Ricky Bobby, you didn't like that either?
No. I also don't like cornbread. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
See you tomorrow. So then, have fun and love somebody.